I've kind of just spent the last like hour or so sitting down there on my couch trying to think of something to do, something to record. And I couldn't think of anything. Nothing at all. I just had really zero drive, motivation. I kept thinking like, what would I do? What can I do? Well, I've got a table I want to make. I've got some models I could kit bash. I've got my orcs. I've always got to do my orc army because I've got a lot to do. So I think this evening we're going to paint up this orc boy. Just one singular model so that I've done something. And I thought, I may as well bring you along and I'll show you how I paint up my orcs with minimum efficiency. I'm really slow at painting my orcs. So let's start before I change my mind. Alrighty, here we are, top-down view, voiceover. Don't do this very often because, to be fair, I'm not very good at doing voiceovers, but, here we are. So for the skin, I tend to use 3 different types of green paints. That's so that, it's always green, but there's still some kind of variation within the army, and I kind of think gives a real cool look. This step should be very fast and very messy. The goal isn't to make something that looks pretty, just to get the color blocked in. For this specific model, I used the Warg Green Flesh, or Warg Flesh, is that what it's called? Can't remember. So just kind of put the paint down, because you can always go back and fix mistakes. I've got a whole step dedicated to just fixing mistakes, because I do make a lot of them. I'm a very pretty careless painter, to be honest. Next up is brown. Now, the brown I use specifically for this model is Minotaur Hide. This is by far, without a doubt, the greatest brown color paint I've ever found in my entire life. It is so good. Most of the paints I use I got from this Army Painter D&D box set about 2 years ago, and they're still holding up well. I've still got most of them, and it's just such a good bloody paint. I put this all over the pants, and sometimes the random straps and stuff there on their shoulders and around their wrists. Not the belt, because I use a different brown later on, which doesn't really actually matter because it all looks the same anyway, so I don't know why I do that. But yeah, that's the brown. Alrighty, good progress so far. Next up on the colored chopping block, we got black. Now I put this all over the t-shirts, as well as sometimes as on the weapon, on some panels, and then if they have it, the hair or the helmet, but this model doesn't have any of that, so I'm not doing that. Anyway, yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory. Put the black on the model. If you are enjoying the video so far, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 400 before the end of the year, so help me out. It would mean a lot. Alright, next, what is next? Onto the silver. So for the silver, I use metallic metals for the color. I don't do non-metallic metal because I'm quite frankly I'm not good enough. I'll get around to learning one day. That day is not today, so I'm gonna stick with my simple silver. Basically just put this all over the weapons, the boots, belt buckle, just all the little middle parts. That makes sense, right? Anyway, to jump back to what I was saying at the very start is motivation. I think sometimes the best way to get motivated to do a project can be just to jump into it head first, and eventually might snowball and get the motivation. And if you start and you just really aren't having a great time, then just don't do it. No one's really forcing you unless they are. That's a whole different story though. Anyway, so that's what I did today. I just forced myself to turn the camera on, start chatting, start painting, which is why it's very voiceover focused. It's because at the time I just didn't want to do too much talking. But I think it was worth it, and so hopefully you can get something out of that. I don't know. Okay, I got wrong way. The model, you can't see the model to a place that it is tabletop ready. It's up, you could definitely totally leave it as is. For the record, off camera, I did just use some of this brown to do the belt buckle and a little bit of skeleton bone, my favorite paint, to do the stitching on the back of the teeth, just some random little details. took like 3 seconds. Now it's time for the best parts, the finishing steps, like this beautiful paint or wash. Egg Rex Earth Shade. So we're gonna douse the entire miniature in this wash. When I say the entire miniature, I mean get it on the brush and just cover the entire miniature. Like, don't hold back. Every last part should get some of this wash on it. Now you could say, hey Arden, that is just lazy painting, and you'll be absolutely correct. You think I'm gonna spend any more than the past hour already on just one of these 60 boys? Nah, good painting is efficient painting. Okay, that might be a stretch. Good painting is good painting, but when it comes to things like just the cannon fodder of an army, you know, they just gotta get done. And especially right now, I just gotta get this dude to a point where it's not gonna stand out as the worst miniature on the table. I think that's good. Put that away. Okay. Now all dirtied up, grimy, and the way washes work is kind of just darkens the recesses and shadows, so it kind of gives it essentially instant highlights and dark spots. It makes it a lot more detailed pretty easily. So I'm gonna let this dry. I'll be back in like a second to the last 2 steps. So see you in 2. Sorry if you can hear like a terrible bloody whooshing sound in the background. I've got the fan on. Normally I turn it off when I'm trying to film, but it's so hot in my room that I'm keeping it on. I'm doing it. Anyway, we've got the orc with the wash all done now. So we're gonna do the last few things, which is a dry brush with skeleton paint, and then adding BAM! Oh shit! Adding a lot of blood for the blood god. So add the gore and make it more bit more gory. Hide some dodgy paint jobs. Those are all true, by the way. Cool. Now with the dry brush, it looks a lot better at this stage, and you know, this is a part where I would definitely, you know, I could be like, I'm done. And I've done that a couple times. There are a few models without blood, but what's the fun of that? So we're now going to generously add some blood for the blood god. Yeah. Anyway, I'm very glad I managed to get a model done today. You know, hobby block is one of those things when you just, sometimes the best thing to do is to just force yourself to start doing something, because normally momentum will carry it on and you'll end up doing it. You'll end up enjoying doing it, I should say. I don't know, I just painted one dude. I don't know if that's like, is that cool? Was this a waste of time? I don't know.